What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm...
Have you ever sat at your desk staring at your screen thinking, why can't I think clearly anymore? Why am I so exhausted even when I've done everything right? Maybe you used to be sharp, decisive, and on top of everything, but lately it just isn't working the same. And the worst part is you're starting to question yourself, your abilities, your leadership, and even your career. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone, and it's not just stress or burnout. There's something deeper, much deeper going on. In fact, 33% of women walk away from their careers in midlife compared to only 6% of men due to cognitive and emotional challenges during the specific experience for women. Got my facts here. I'm a girl that comes with facts, all right? So here's the truth. I'm going to bring straight facts. Brain fog, cognitive fatigue, exhaustion, irritability, and self-doubt, they are not random. They are part of a biological shift that happens to high-achieving women in midlife. It's called perimenopause, and this thing can show up as early as 35 years old. It triggers fluctuating estrogen and hormones, progesterone and testosterone. All of those levels start going up and down and wild, and all of which directly impact brain function, memory, and executive performance. Again, straight facts, receipts. The North American Menopause Society says that up to 60% of women report this significant cognitive change and challenge during this stage. These hormones play a huge role in brain function, decision-making, and motivation. Yet no one warns women about this. At least we're not talking about it that openly. Instead, we blame ourselves. We assume we're just not working hard enough, or maybe that, this is the worst, you think that you're actually losing your edge. I know because I have been there. 4 years ago, I sat right where you are, wondering why I felt so off. I felt awful. And why pushing through like I was used to doing just wasn't working anymore. So we cannot ignore this. And I want to talk about what happens when women don't address these changes. We work twice as hard to compensate, leading to burnout. We start second guessing ourselves, making us less visible in meetings. And then we just start feeling stuck, less motivated, like all the things that used to lit us up, they just don't anymore. And then we actually start to feel invisible. In fact, again, some receipts. The Mayo Clinic shows women in perimenopause are more than twice as likely to disengage from the workplace if symptoms go unmanaged. I almost let this experience take me out until I learned how to manage my mind and my body differently. And that's why I'm here, because I wish my younger self had had access to this information. I wish someone had pulled me aside and said, hey, Jenny, it's not you. It's the way that your body is changing. And here's how to work with it and not against it. But no one did. So I had to figure it out all alone with lots of research and reading and experimentation. And that's why I'm so passionate about bringing you these insights so you don't have to struggle through years of frustration like I did. And since figuring it out, I have helped my executive clients navigate these same struggles and arrive on the other side with confidence and clarity to perform with their bodies and not against them. So I am here to share with you, and this is why you click the video, 6 really easy to implement, quick win strategies that are backed by science. Again, I'm a girl with facts, with receipts. You can count on that for me. And each of these strategies is backed by neuroscience and hormone research, and also my own work with hundreds of midlife women leaders. They are designed to help you regain clarity, focus, and confidence. In fact, let me just share a little client win with you. A VP of marketing, Sarah, came to me and she was considering stepping down from her role that she'd worked so hard to achieve. She thought she was like losing it, quote unquote. Within 6 weeks of implementing and applying these techniques, her focus returned, her confidence rebounded, and she negotiated a promotion. This could be you, all right? I want to give you hope here. So let's dive into why you clicked this video. Like I said, I want to share 6 clear and easy implementable strategies that build upon one another. And I would say the last 2 are the most important, but the first 4 really lay the foundation for those last 2 to be really successful. They're all required for you to feel ready to execute them. All right, so the first one is the 60-second reset, what we call the neuropause. And why does it work? Stress spikes cortisol, impairing our memory and decision-making. A lot of science talks about the prefrontal cortex being the CEO of our brains. When we get stressed, energy moves away from that. Studies from the Stanford University show that these deep breathing techniques reduce cortisol levels up to 30%. A simple deep breathing exercise. There are many different ones. I want to show you one that kind of varies it up a little bit. because the traditional one that we've heard a lot is from the Navy SEALs. It's called the box breathing, where we count to 4, breathe in, hold it for 4, breathe out, out breath for 4. I want to switch it up because we can easily get distracted if we don't switch up the numbers. So I want to talk about the 4-7-8 method, and I'm going to do it with you. It resets your nervous system and it restores your clarity, okay? So let's inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then repeat that 3 times. I like to mix it up. I mean, I do it different times with my different clients all the time. So do something that works for you. I have my sister, she talks about doing, breathe in for 5, hold for 5, breathe out for 5. Do that 4 times, and that just takes a minute. So that's another way to do it. If you just are really wanting to like not rely on your memory and just do breathe in for 5, hold for 5, breathe out for 5, 4 times, and that is 1 minute, a 1 minute neuropause. This is so powerful. And think about how many times we kind of hold our breath in stressful situations. I mean, breath is it is our life force. So when we come back to our life force, it can be quite magical and liberating. So the second one is what is called the decision buffer. We all know about cognitive load, right? In terms of the more cognitive load we have, the more stressed or overwhelmed we can feel. So this is meant to actually decrease our cognitive load. The reason it works is decision fatigue actually drains mental energy. And the research published in the Menopause Journal, again, receipts, found that decision fatigue intensifies during hormone shifts. This decision buffer, this reducing decision making throughout our day through preset routines actually frees up our brain power so that we can be ready for high impact work. So to do this, let's reduce overwhelm by setting just go-to defaults, like a uniform or a pre-planned meal or time blocking. Like for me, even getting ready to record this video for y'all, I was like, should I wear a blazer and a blouse? I was like, no, 2 things. One is my uniform is a different color workout jacket every day I show up to Zoom. And, if I am going to be working with you in real time, virtually, I want to show up as I am. And then it reduces the decision-making fatigue of figuring out what I'm going to wear. I literally wear a different color workout jacket every day of the week on repeat. It helps me so much. I don't have to worry about figuring out what I'm going to wear. Now, if I was going to be on stage or in person with you, I would show up really well dressed. All right. But the thing is too, how exhausting is it to feel like we have to show up well kept all the time, even on Zoom? Just think about the things that you feel really comfortable in, yet you still feel really professional. Wear those on repeat. Trust me, no one notices. Okay. So that's just one little tip that I do that can be really helpful. The third strategy is the glucose and hydration hack. This is actually one of my favorites because I have fun water bottles that make this exciting. Squeeze the Day is one of my favorites. And I have actually creatine and my collagen powder in that. When you're in my programs, you get my whole list of amazing supplements that I use to keep me healthy, hydrated, and energized. But why does this work? To keep hydration around and also a snack. When blood sugar crashes, it impairs our cognitive function. Dehydration actually shrinks our brain cells. It literally reduces our sharpness and processing speed. It is wild. When I've read research about it, it's in the Journal of Neuroscience. They talk about how images show when we're dehydrated, the scans of our brains just it changes. It's wild. So what to do? Eat protein and a healthy fat mid-morning. I can't say enough about protein just in general for lots of reasons, muscle strength, etc. But when it comes to having focus throughout your day, protein and healthy fat, that combination, it's superpowers. All right. Examples that I keep around are Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt with a little bit of maple syrup on top and some eggs. And then drink water first thing in the morning before you have your coffee, if you are a coffee drinker. So the fourth one, the 5-minute movement reset. Movement, actually, any kind of exercise or movement, it boosts dopamine and serotonin, which counteracts brain fog and mood swings. They are the happiness hormones is what we call them, dopamine and serotonin. And research shows that just 5 minutes of physical activity can enhance focus for up to an hour. If you are a walker and you like to reach your 10K steps every day, you can also, it's freezing where I am right now. It's in the middle of winter as I'm recording this for you. And I can't get out and walk my dog for 10 to 15,000 steps When it's this cold, it's hard on her and it's hard on me. So if I do 10 body weight squats, no weight, on top of the hour, every hour during my working hours, it actually equates to 10,000 steps a day. So if you do this every 90 minutes, that's great. Or you could do it every hour, whatever like you need to like break up your day and reboost your energy. It actually reboots your focus faster than coffee. So do some movement. And you can like get accountability partners. If you like, work in a shared working space, or if you're in the office, we're still on Zoom all the time, even though we're in the office, it seems. Make sure you like involve people. It's another thing that helps you a lot, is that connection. So we're down to the last two, the most important ones that I mentioned in the beginning. And that is the tough conversation prep. Don't we all love tough conversations? Whew. I love coaching them, coaching people how to do them. I don't love doing them myself, but I do them. And this is how I prep. And this is how I help my clients prep as well. So when we prep for a tough conversation, it helps us manage our emotional reactivity. So why does it work? Fluctuating estrogen can actually weaken emotional regulation. Again, some receipts. Neuroscientists at UCLA found that a structured pause for just 90 seconds can prevent what they call emotional hijacking and prevent us from potentially overreacting. So anything that you can do structured in terms of framing out your conversation is going to help you as well. So pause before responding to conflict. Pause, frame your response, and delay it if you are able to, especially if it's necessary. And then the last one, the last really easy to implement, not always like comfortable to do, is a trigger mapping sequence. And this is actually what I spend a lot of time on with my clients in my one-on-one work and in my group coaching programs, because this is actually like what I was built to do as a psychologist, is to really understand our stress patterns so that we can, again, go back to preventing that emotional hijacking. Because when we are hijacked, our emotions are hijacked. Like, it compromises our performance, of course, but it can compromise relationships. It like just creeps into our like self-doubt when it happens. And then we beat ourselves up, and then we're in this cycle that's really hard to break. My clients do it. All of the high-level executives that I work with do it, and I do it. So you are not alone if like you don't know how to do this yet. You can do this though, okay? I promise. So do this, all right? So track your stress triggers. So like you could just map this out every day for a week. Label your response, that like when you feel your stress kind of feeling in your gut where it's just like, ugh, I do not like this, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or you feel like you want to move away from something, or we all respond differently to stress. Notice it. Like, the key to conquering this is just slowing down and noticing and increasing your awareness around it. And label your response, like using grounding techniques. There is research that says when we label our emotions, just labeling them out loud and writing them down, it actually decreases our stress response up to 40%. It's unbelievable. So some grounding techniques, like things that we've already talked about: deep breathing and movement. Those are the two. Drinking some cold water to kind of like calm your nervous system can be really, really powerful as well. So while these micro adjustments may seem small, they can change everything, especially as you compound them with each other over time. Like, you can become a master at these the more you implement them and slow down just for 5 minutes and take action. All right, so this video could be the insights that save your career and your confidence. I'm sure they will. But here's the thing, a video can only get you so far. If you want real personalized clarity on how these shifts are affecting your leadership and your performance, you need a strategy tailored to you. And that's exactly why I created the Energy Mapping Kickstarter call. It's like a piece of my private program that I pulled out just for this special offering, because I'm so passionate about more women understanding how to move through this time with more grace. I'm so passionate about executive women in leadership roles and management roles, or entrepreneurs, having access to this information and insights, because then you just don't feel so alone. And as I said before, not a lot of people are talking about this. I know that conversations are increasing, but not very often in public. When we have a community where we know we can come to share our feelings, feel seen, it actually decreases our shame cycle so much that automatically elevates your confidence. So if you're interested in working with me privately, click below, book a private one-of-a-time offer session with me. Like I said, I've pulled this out of my one-on-one and group program to like offer for a special time right now to increase awareness for more women navigating this experience. 100% of women will go through perimenopause to menopause. Every woman's journey is different. So you need a very customized strategy just for you to help optimize your leadership and your performance so that you stay engaged, happy at work and then happy at home. And then you just have a more fulfilling life all around. You stay on purpose. You stay in your calling. And that's what I hope for you. It almost took me out, and I don't want it to take you out. So this is the first time I'm offering this at a private session at this rate. And, the spots are limited. So please grab a time, click the button below, and I will see you in the energy mapping call. So let's do a couple squats to outro. All right, let's go. You stand right now and do it with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. You have an amazing day. You're beautiful, and I'll see you soon.